What is up guys, Samo here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys another progress video. This one's going to be a little bit shorter because I'm going to speed it up. I don't want to waste your guys' times here. And I'll probably start uploading a little bit more frequently, at least full videos like this, and then me talking over it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you everyone for 800 subscribers. You are all very much appreciated. Now, this is one of my main characters that you guys have seen a lot of. His name is the Madman. He pops up in a lot of the things I create. I can't really tell you guys a lot about him just yet. However, he does play a big role throughout my Evo storylines. Like in the Evo report mentioned, he is a mysterious guy, and there's a lot of stories written in Evo Report that are presumed to be written by him. Yet the timeline doesn't necessarily match up because the stories are dated 2,000 years prior to when Evo Report is being written, and the first sighting of the Madman was only 1,000 years prior. So, some of those timetables don't necessarily match. Now, some people might question, but what about the tech? Well, the tech for enhanced lifespans wasn't yet developed they weren't yet in development. So that begs the question, who or what exactly is the Madman? And so with that question, we don't know. And so that's going to be during a lot of my Evo report writings. We'll go into that, and there will be a story specifically for the Madman and how he came to be, and what he is, or what exactly is his goal, and how all the writings that were found in Evo report, like how they were created. Because if you guys read some of or if you've read Evo Report Volume 1, you'll realize that there's some things that don't necessarily match up with the time span. Like some of the stories are written, like even within that story, they're written like thousands of years prior, or even further into the future. Like, some of the stories have to do with space bearing people going into like outer space and finding different different worlds and stuff like that. And so it's like, okay, so how is this guy who's supposedly written these things in the early 2000s, how was he able to like have that information? Well, you'll find out eventually. So yeah, and that is the end of that. So giving you the background for the Madman. Now we're gonna go into the actual sketch here. So one thing you guys will notice about me is I really like drawing scythes, and I like drawing characters holding scythes and stuff like that, even though it's kind of like a useless weapon, or it's not a realistic weapon. But that's neither here nor there. This was a really cool kind of posing that I wanted to draw, and I actually drew this on my sketchbook, if I'm not mistaken, first, and then I put it on here. This was fun, or no, I think I actually just drew it here. I'm not too sure. I forget. But this was fun practice. As you can see, there's a line work underneath, but I wanted to use more of the shading that I would do traditionally and try to put it over into a more digital realm. It was fun. It was a very great learning experience. I actually end up using this technique a lot in the future from here on out. And then as of recently of making this video, I kind of slowed down on it, but I really did enjoy it. And I'm kind of wishy-washy on whether I want to go back to it or not, but I don't think I will, because this stuff like this takes a good amount of time to actually get it done properly. And I think that if I'm doing a big project, then maybe, but something like these small projects that I'm doing for you guys, I don't think it's gonna be that I don't think it's gonna be that good, right? Because it's gonna be like, I think this video or this piece took well over an hour. Usually my videos, making the videos, take like 30 minutes or so, just to get the sketch down and everything like that. I mean, they take longer if like I'm coming up with the idea, right? But if we're talking about like just drawing everything out from start to finish, it probably takes like 30 minutes for everything, even colorings and stuff like that. So but yeah, so this was fun. The shading was fun. I think this was around the time where I was doing the tutorials for anatomy, and the shading and stuff like that. And this was where a lot of those techniques come into play. I really like these types of like shadows and stuff like that. And I actually do utilize, I find it interesting that I utilize these things with my traditional work, and it carries over to my digital so well. But one thing that I had trouble with drawing in digitally when I first came, like transferred over, was kind of getting this look. Like I really, since I started out traditionally, this was the hardest thing to kind of get down because it's additive, whereas with traditional, it's not necessarily additive, right? You're pushing the lead over and over and over. Um, And well, I think no, traditional is additive. Here, you're not necessarily adding anything, you're pushing everything. So that's a little bit, but eventually I learned how to, manage it. So like I said, this was fun. I think adding the color was a good idea too. Well, obviously it was a good idea, but someone mentioned that it's muddy. I do realize why it was muddy this whole time. I don't necessarily agree because I think the muddiness actually looks good. But the reason that the muddiness actually happens is because I believe the saturation is too high. So I think because I duplicated because the layer is duplicated, it creates um, a darker saturation on the base color. So you'll see later on that I put in purple, but now all the darks are darker. So instead of lightening the shadow layer, so that it kind of looks more uniform, I kind of left it like that, which is something I shouldn't have done. I should have just lightened it up, but I still enjoyed it. And then this was also one of those times where I actually added like highlights and stuff like that, which I think added a lot of pop. This was a learning experience. It was a very, very like massive learning experience for what I would later on do in some of my favorite pieces. So yeah, that's it for this video. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. If you didn't, sorry. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's very much appreciated. Thank you for watching. What else? And apologize for last week. I didn't upload. I was really busy with assignments. So yeah.